Hello and welcome! My name's Heather, I'm a registered professional counselor, and today I'm going to be watching Netflix series Love is Blind Season 2. I'm super excited to watch this. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe for more analysis videos like this. Okay, let's start episode 3.
I've told Shane that I liked him, but I've not really said, I have, deep feelings for you. I'm finally strong enough to have the courage to do what I have to do.
Well, I'm glad that she is speaking up and that she really wants to tell him how she's feeling. Timing is not the greatest, so that's unfortunate. The other thing that I want to say is that everything I'm saying here is just a speculation. I'm not here to diagnose any of the cast members. Obviously, that's not ethical. I don't know any of them. I'm not in a counseling session with them. The purpose of these videos is to talk about relationships or psychology in general, using the events that we see from the show. These videos or any YouTube videos are not a proper replacement for therapy. If you feel like you need therapy, definitely hire someone that you trust, and just use these videos as a jumping off point to talk about more educational topics.
Keep this private.
That's not for anyone else's business.
Well, I mean, it's on the show.
Yes.
Everyone will see it eventually.
The connection I have with Natalie is just so strong. It's too late for that.
So it seems like he's standing by his word and he's gonna stay with Natalie, and he was honest and assertive with Shayna and told her that it's not gonna work, it's too late. I'm sure it's really difficult for him to tell her that, especially because he clearly has strong feelings for her and now she's confessing to him that she feels strongly about him as well. I would imagine that this confession may cause a lot of confusion on his end and maybe conflicting feelings about, you know, whether or not he chose the right person, and it could definitely bring up feelings of doubt as well.
Natalie, will you marry me?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Of course. My life.
Maybe he is confident
So
in the
cold
choice
out
that he
there.
made with Natalie.
I just want to run through a wall.
I feel like Jared and I are having similar feelings for Mallory, and we acknowledge that Mallory has a choice.
It's nice to see that they're still very respectful towards one another, even though they're interested in the same person. It will come down to what Mallory wants and what she feels is best for her. So we'll have to wait and see who she decides, but it really can be a tough decision, especially if you have a strong connection with two different people. The only thing that you can really do is to make the best choice with the information that you have at hand, and hopefully the time and commitment, will strengthen their bond moving forward, again, depending on who she feels is a better fit for her. Oh no.
There's always really been two people I've just really felt very strongly for, and I feel like I'm just drawn more to that.
Rejection hurts, and it's hurtful for both parties because Mallory doesn't want to hurt someone that she cares about and that she has feelings for. Of course, Jared is really upset. This was not the outcome he was hoping for. He was really hoping that she would choose him. Just the overall feeling of rejection can be extremely painful, and we could definitely see that it's impacting the both of them. It's definitely a grieving process that the both of them will be experiencing. And it's not necessarily easier for Mallory because she was the one who made the decision. She's still going through her own feelings of grief and processing that.
I never thought that I'd be in this position. I didn't want to hurt anyone else. I wouldn't make anyone feel like that.
And especially someone in her position, she doesn't want to hurt the other person's feeling that she cares about. She doesn't want to come across as being mean or being spiteful or hurtful. It's not an easy position to be in, to have to reject someone and hurt someone that you care about. And Jarrett seems like the type of person who is very in touch with his feelings, and it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to express that.
She said, no, my feelings are stronger for someone else.
I'm glad to see that the guys are very supportive and not telling him to get over it or to stop crying or be a man or anything like that. So it's nice to see that they're very open and supportive of him going through his emotional processing and to be openly vulnerable and upset and crying. So it's good to see.
How do we work as a couple in the real world where there are distractions? And
that's where the real test comes in, is them going back. Right. Asian parents. So I can understand where she's coming from in terms of anticipating how your Asian parents are going to react, especially since going on a show like this and meeting your husband or future husband in a reality TV show. Okay, so he's
I didn't get the
being
response that I wanted.
open and honest about what was going on. At least
Also,
he's
don't
very
want you to feel like
transparent
you're-
about that. So I'm glad that he's open and honest with her about what happened and how he's feeling, and he's trying to acknowledge the fact that he understands that she doesn't want to feel like she's his backup choice or plan B. I can also see how this can definitely create feelings of insecurities or doubts within her, especially because I guess she was expecting that she was his number one choice. So maybe she's a little blindsided by the fact that he pre-proposed to someone else.
I can't help but to think, like, if Mallory had said yes, that you would have proposed to her. And I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Even though he's been completely transparent about, going back and forth between her and Mallory, not a good feeling to feel that you're his backup choice or anything like that. So we'll see how she responds to that and if she's able to recover from that. I would be curious to know if he would ask both of them what they would have thought about the marriage, even if they both said yes. He would still have to decide which one he would have to choose. It's not an easy position to be in, and you have to ask certain questions in order to get a certain response, and in order for you to make your decision based on that information you get. So it definitely doesn't make it easier, and I totally understand where she's coming from. She doesn't want to be the backup choice. It might also create just long, lingering feelings of doubt within your partner, and she
My
just
heart just
wants
feels
reassurance.
torn.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
I really feel for the both of them. Again, this is a really tough situation to be in, and I hope that they're able to move past it if they want to still be together, and hopefully they can find a way to move forward. We'll just have to see if this is something that they both want and if it's something that they can move past.
Did you get on one knee?
I did.
Oh my god.
Still on one. When I see you tomorrow, can I kiss you?
Yes,
Oh,
you can.
that's nice. He's asking for consent, and it's not just running to grab her ass.
Oh my
I really
God.
love all of their dresses, honestly. Okay, they seem happy to see each other.
I'm
Let's.
scared that if it's gonna be a problem.
Oh, why are they playing that music?
So I'm just freaking out.
Okay.
About
She's
what?
being
I don't know if I can
honest.
say-
It's understandable as to why Shayna will have some doubts, and these are really big, important issues that she has. I feel deep down she already knows the answer. I think that she's more so leaning towards that it might not work out. Again, maybe they only showed us a small part of what their discussions were, but it seems that they haven't really talked about it to great lengths, and they're just making assumptions as to what may possibly happen. And it's normal for our brains to make assumptions and to expect the worst outcome because our brains want to try to prepare for it and to figure it out. But talking through it and getting to know each other a little bit more and how to navigate that bigger topic is extremely important. It's clear that she's having more of a fear-based reaction. And again, that's totally understandable, very normal, but you have such a short timeline between getting engaged and getting married. You have to figure these things out. And I'm glad that she was at least transparent. So now he's aware of what she's feeling, and maybe he just needs to have more conversations and help her feel more comfortable from his point of view, or just be open to the idea that she might decide that she wants to break off the engagement, and that's something that maybe he needs to prepare for.
Know what I need to know that, you know what I'm saying, this can be successful.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I can understand why she's feeling very scared and unsure about what to do in this situation, because maybe with her experience in the past, there's a lot of trust issue that comes up. And also now she has evidence of Jarrett not being 100% in the relationship or 100% committed to her. It might create seeds of doubt that might pop up later on in the relationship if she chooses to say yes to his proposal. So it's possible that later on she might get triggered and she'll start questioning his commitment to her, and these trust issues might come up. I think right now what he can definitely do is just really reassure her. I mean, if that's how he's feeling, but reassure her that he's made up his mind, he's 100% in the relationship, committed to her, and he's willing to work on the relationship to make her feel safe. Clearly, she's very conflicted and she's very scared. He can definitely put a little bit more in there to let her know that he's all in. Of course, there's a possibility that he might not be completely all in, right? Because he's also going through a breakup at the same time and grieving the relationship that he had with Mallory. So there's a lot going on. So even if he might be feeling that he's 100% in, maybe he's having a hard time reassuring her or showing her just because of his other emotions that are going on for him as well.
Yeah, I'll marry you.
Let's go!
Before I forget, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe for more analysis videos of Love is Blind. All the couples are matched up and they're engaged and they're going to Mexico. Now they actually get to spend time together. It's going to be interesting to see how they can shift from an emotional connection to a physical connection and see if their bonds continue to grow from there, or if the physical connection is going to be an issue, because we've seen that in the past before. So let's see what happens.
I'm fucking out of here. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
Okay, so it seems like they're joking around a lot.
Just have to see you tonight. For me first, and I'll give you a compliment.
I'm a nice guy.
You're a piece of shit.
What?
You're a little mean.
Uh-oh. Well, that's not nice. I mean, maybe it's her sense of humor, and it's his birthday. When you have a partner who's asking you to say something nice about them, clearly he wants some form of affection or reassurance. They just met, so there should be high levels of that. I'm glad that he's able to verbally ask for affection or to ask her to say something nice about him because he needs to hear it. But for her to say that you're a piece of shit, maybe she's nervous that they're meeting in person. Maybe this is her way of joking around with him, and maybe she jokes around like this a lot with her friends or family members or her past partners, and it was never an issue. Clearly, it's very hurtful to say that to someone, especially when they're asking you to say something nice about him. A little bit of a yellow flag, but again, it's too early to say what it really means. Again, she could just be very nervous. Maybe this is just her type of humor. We'll just have to see how he responds to this, because I'm guessing, that was quite hurtful.
Okay, I think you're hot. Here, does that help you?
Yeah, that's the first actually nice thing you said about me.
I think you have really nice eyes.
Seems like she's having a hard time verbally expressing affectionately how she feels about him and giving him compliments and reassuring him. Again, maybe it's because she's just not used to this type of love language. We see that she's trying, but it definitely doesn't come naturally to her, and that's okay. It's just, how do they navigate that together? Just something to keep an eye out for, to see if she continues to say things like that often. That can definitely hurt the relationship, and it could definitely hurt the other person's self-esteem. Now, the other thing as well, again, not saying that this is true about Natalie. Again, I don't know her. This could just be for the show. She could be nervous, and I'm not diagnosing. What can be a possibility is that this could be early signs of abuse in the relationship. It could be considered verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and it can definitely escalate to more of that, or even physical abuse. But again, just some things to be aware of if that's something that you notice in your relationships or friendships, and something that keeps coming up as a reoccurring pattern of disrespect, of hurt. Maybe that's a relationship to consider cutting out of your life. Again, not saying this about Natalie, but just some things for us to be aware of in our own relationships, in our own lives. Saying hurtful things and just saying like, oh, I was just kidding, I was just joking. It could be a way to chip away at someone else's self-esteem, so it's easier to control them or to manipulate them. It's not nice to say these things. And imagine that Shane said that to Natalie. Regardless of gender, emotional, verbal abuse is still abuse.
I don't know if she's nervous and that's how she reacts a little bit to the situation, but I wanted a little more affection, I guess. Like flustered, I'm confused.
Yeah, especially since in the pods, they definitely had more serious conversations and she was very clear with expressing how she was feeling. They definitely had more of an emotional connection. And now that they're meeting, maybe she's feeling nervous, maybe she's feeling a bit excited, and maybe she just wants to joke around a bit more. But I can understand why he's feeling a bit confused and a bit flustered, because it's almost as if she's a completely different person from who he met in the pods. And it sounds like he's trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. Again, maybe over time she'll warm up to him or be more comfortable around him and be a little bit more affectionate. He also could have just said that, you know, what she said was really hurtful. He did say that what she said was really mean, but he could have just said, you know, I'd appreciate that when I ask you for affection or for you to say something nice to me, for you to take that seriously. I just need reassurance in the moment, and I hope that you're able to respect that and actually honor what my needs are and honor what I'm asking.
We're gonna make you a really good bite. I hate feeding people. I think it's so cheesy, but I fed you.
So this dinner is interesting. It just seems like they're trying to prove to each other that they're serious about the other person. So he's trying to prove to her that by eating meat for the first time in 8 years that he's serious about her, and for her to feed him. She hates feeding people, but she did it for him. It's almost as if they're trying to overcompensate for something. It's just really interesting that it's going this direction and that they're not really talking about what is really bothering her and what's on her mind, which is the difference in religion and difference in beliefs. This would have been a good time to talk about it, especially since they don't have a lot of time together.
Honestly, if you don't eat the bread, it's gonna be really unattractive.
What?
Holy fuck, I'm always being tested.
Yeah, that's...
Eat it, you're a guy. Like, a guy that doesn't eat the bread's weird to me.
Yeah, it's almost as if they're trying to test each other or prove that they're worthy of being in a relationship with the other person. Not okay to promote gender expectations or gender stereotypes, like you're a guy, or be a man, don't cry, you throw like a girl. What good does that really do?
We would spend the night separate rooms.
Do they just rent out the whole floor of the
100%.
hotel to... in case the
No
couples want to
pressure.
spend the night in separate rooms?
I would never.
I could see how he could be feeling a bit rejected or confused, especially if all the other couples are spending the whole night together.
I get it.
Dude.
Okay, he's being
So-
respectful, so that's good.
You're gonna go to your room now.
Oh,
It's
I thought they were going to talk.
7:40.
Oh my god, it's early.
I would have thought that she would have stayed and talked to him, you know, even if she's not ready to talk about the big elephant in the room and talk about the religion, but, you know, just talk so they get to know each other a bit more. It seems like she's just pulling away. Maybe she's just really tired and she just wants some alone time to process. And maybe she wants to have some time to think about what she wants to say to him.
Oh, morning.
She's leaving?
Bye.
At 7:40? Oh, wow, that's not a good sign. So a few possibilities. Either she's really trying to pull away from the relationship and she's already trying to distance herself from the relationship because she knows that it's not going to work out. Or the other thing is that maybe she really just wants time alone to process it. But what might be more helpful is to actually talk to him about what you're feeling, what you're thinking, or to even ask him what his thoughts are, just so you have more information to work with, because the more that we retreat from our partners, the more assumptions that we're going to make and more thoughts about how, you know, it's not going to work out. We're going to think about the worst case scenario, and we kind of get lost in those thoughts and those cognitive distortions without really having all the information or all the facts. So I'm guessing that's what's happening now, is that the more time she spends away from him and the less information or less clarity that they have and less time they actually talk about the big issue, the more she's just thinking about how it's not going to work out because of XYZ, and she's starting to try to make connections and try to predict the future, and again, worst case scenario, about how it's not going to work out. And poor Kyle is just being super respectful. He's really trying, and she's just not in it at all. This really kind of reminds me of Jessica and Mark. Like, I don't want to keep talking about the previous season with the previous couples. Obviously, these are all different people, but there are some interesting similarities as well. I wonder what's going to happen with them, but it doesn't it's tough to say. I wonder if she's really just going to go and think and reflect, and then maybe the next day they'll talk about it. So maybe there's that.
I can leave Mexico being a single woman.
Wait, she's
The way I felt.
She's leaving?
About Shane, like back in the pods. That's in the back of my head at the end of the day.
Right, because she had such strong feelings for Shane, so she's also going through that grieving process and also her breakup with Shane. Maybe that's taking away from her ability to really connect with Kyle as well. Oh, is she gonna go back to Kyle's room? Wait, that's her luggage! Is she leaving? She left? Are they allowed to do that? Oh, wow, I did not see that coming. Wow, okay, I guess we'll have to see what happens in the next episode. Wow, poor Kyle. I feel really bad for Kyle. He has no idea. He's trying to be super respectful and patient, and he's trying so hard to make the relationship work, and she just left him. Did she leave a note, at least?
I cannot get married. I left a note. Good for you. Not everyone thinks of that. Who doesn't leave a note? It's common courtesy. Thank you!
Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you'll get more analysis videos of Love is Blind. Thank you so much for watching and feel free to check out my other therapist reviews videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, be kind and love yourself.